All right, so today we're going deep on Walmart,
Oh, Walmart,
the retail giant.
the big one.
I mean, seriously, their revenue's bigger than the GDP of some countries.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy when you think about it. But how do they get so big?
Right. It's amazing. Walmart's a great example of a simple idea
Yeah,
that turned into like a global phenomenon.
it all started with Sam Walton, right?
Yep, back in 1962, he opened his first store.
I've heard those stories about him driving around in his pickup truck, like checking out the competition.
Oh, yeah, he was obsessed with prices.
But everyday low prices. I mean, that seems kind of, well, obvious.
I think so, right? But back then, most stores had this whole like markup and sale thing going on. Walton decided to just offer low prices all the time, and people loved it.
Yeah, I guess it makes sense. It's reliable.
Exactly. You know what you're going to get.
And that first
Yeah.
Walmart in
Yeah.
Rogers, Arkansas, I read they did something different with their business model.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Customer service was huge for them. Walton knew that to win people over, it couldn't just be about cheap prices.
Right.
The whole experience had to be good. And he made that part of their culture from the beginning.
So kind of like that small town friendly vibe.
Yeah, exactly. Where people actually feel valued.
But starting out, I bet there were challenges, right?
Oh, yeah, tons. Some people thought Walton was crazy.
Did they?
Oh, yeah, they said it wouldn't work. And logistically, getting stuff out to these rural areas, nightmare.
Oh, I bet.
But, Walton and his team, they just kept at it. They learned from mistakes, adapted, and never gave up.
That's that whole that grit thing, right?
Exactly.
Perseverance. Now, they didn't immediately go after big cities, did they? They had a different strategy for growth.
That's one of the most interesting things about them. They targeted small towns, rural areas, places the other big guys were ignoring.
It's almost like they were playing the long game.
Yeah, they found their niche, dominated it. It's a good lesson for anyone, no matter what you're doing.
Yeah, find an underserved market and go for it.
Exactly. Don't always try to compete head-on with the giants.
Now, Walmart was using barcodes and satellite systems for inventory in the 70s.
Well, that's great.
That seems way ahead of the curve.
It was. Most companies were still doing everything by hand.
Yeah.
Walmart was using cutting-edge technology to track everything, streamline the whole supply chain.
That must have been a massive advantage.
Huge. It meant they could manage everything better, cut down on waste, and offer even lower prices.
So they were already thinking about, like, data and logistics before most people even knew what those things were.
Yeah, they were pioneers. And let's not forget about acquisitions.
Right. They weren't shy about buying up the competition.
Nope. They'd buy competitors, expand into new markets. It was a key part of their growth.
It all adds up. The vision, the resilience, the smart expansion, embracing technology.
It's a recipe for success.
And when we talk about their size,
Hmm.
I mean, today they have over 10,500 stores. Global. Over 2.3 million employees.
And get this, they own enough land to basically cover Australia.
That is wild.
Yeah.
And that kind of scale gives them, what, crazy power over suppliers, I imagine.
Oh, yeah. They can pretty much dictate terms, get the best prices. It's leverage on a massive level.
So we've got the vision, the strategy, the tech, the growth. But, it's not all sunshine and roses, right?
Right.
What about their impact on small businesses and local economies?
It's tricky. They create jobs, offer lower prices, especially in places that are struggling economically. That can be a good thing. But it can make it tough for small businesses to survive.
Yeah, it's that big box versus mom and pop thing.
Exactly. And then you have the whole issue of labor practices, wages, working conditions.
Yeah, there's been a lot of criticism about how they treat their employees.
There has. And to be fair, they have made some changes, raising wages, offering more benefits. But it's still a big issue.
It's complicated for sure. And then there's the whole environmental thing.
Right. Walmart's tried to do things to be more sustainable, like reducing waste and using less energy.
But when you're that big, every decision has a huge impact, right?
Absolutely. It's a lot of responsibility.
So let's just step back for a minute and think about what we've learned.
Yeah. Take a breath.
Because, even if we're not running a billion-dollar company,
Right.
there's stuff here we can all apply.
I think so. What stands out to you?
They're really good at adapting, like adopting new technology,
Yeah.
changing their approach for different markets.
Always evolving.
And they haven't lost sight of those core values, low prices, customer service.
It's impressive to grow that much and still stay true to your original vision.
I mean, that's really something.
Yeah.
But we've still got a lot to cover, like their their global expansion, how they jumped into
Oh,
e-commerce.
yeah, we've only just scratched the surface.
So we were talking about how good Walmart is at adapting, right?
Hmm.
And their global expansion,
Yeah.
that's got to be uh, a whole other challenge.
It is, but what's interesting is they didn't just like copy and paste the Walmart model everywhere.
Oh, so they actually like changed things up depending on where they were.
Yeah, they were smart about it. Like in China,
Okay, yeah, China's huge.
they knew that online shopping was already a big deal there.
Right.
So they partnered with local companies, embraced e-commerce early on. It
Interesting.
was a good move.
Yeah, instead of trying to force their American way.
Exactly. They adapted.
But managing a global empire like that, I mean, that's got to be a headache.
Oh, it's a constant challenge. Language barriers,
Yeah.
cultural differences, all the regulations and logistics.
Yeah.
Plus, you got to be, sensitive to the politics of each country.
It's like trying to conduct an orchestra where all the musicians are from different countries.
And yet they make it work. They're still the biggest, and
Yeah.
they're figuring out how to navigate all that complexity.
Now, I've been reading about Walmart and artificial
Oh
intelligence.
yeah.
It seems like they're like going all in on that.
They are. They're using it for everything.
Oh.
Inventory pricing, even trying to personalize the customer experience.
So they're like preparing for the future of retail.
Absolutely. The retail landscape is changing so fast.
Yeah.
And Walmart's not just going to like sit back and watch it happen.
There's a lesson in there somewhere, right?
Mhm.
Like no matter what you do,
Mm.
you can't just like stay the same.
Got to keep learning, adapt, keep moving forward.
Before we get into the next part of the Walmart story, just to kind of recap,
Yeah.
what are some of the biggest takeaways for you so far?
I'd say their ability to change, to innovate.
Yeah.
I mean, embracing technology, adapting to different markets. It's pretty incredible. And
Yeah.
they've done all that without losing sight of their core values, low prices, customer service.
that's amazing.
It is to go through that much change and still hold on to what made you successful in the first place.
But, like we said, there's another side to the story too.
Yeah.
We talked about some of the criticisms about their labor practices.
Yeah, the low wages, the health care, the scheduling issues.
Yeah. What's Walmart's response been to all that?
Well, they have raised wages in some places,
Yep.
expanded some benefits.
So that they're trying.
They are. It's a tough balance, right?
Mhm.
Keeping prices low, but also treating your employees fairly.
The whole minimum wage debate,
Yeah.
the role of big companies.
It's complicated. Businesses need to make money, but employees deserve to earn a living wage.
Right.
And it's not just about the money. It's about, creating a good work environment.
Yeah, where people actually feel valued.
Exactly. And then you've got the whole impact on local communities, on small businesses.
The David versus Goliath thing.
Yeah. Some people say that Walmart drives smaller stores out of business,
Mhm.
and that can hurt the local economy.
But then again, they do bring jobs and cheaper prices.
Right. And sometimes that can be a good thing for a community, especially if they're struggling. It's not a simple issue.
Definitely not. Now, what about their environmental impact?
That's another big one. They've been trying to do things to be more sustainable.
Yeah, I've read about that.
Reducing waste, using less energy.
But they're just so big, right?
Huge. Even a small change they make can have a big impact.
Yeah.
They've been criticized for, things like pollution, deforestation.
I mean, it just shows that even the biggest companies, they still have work to do.
Absolutely. Sustainability is a journey,
Yeah.
not a destination.
Okay, so we've covered a lot. From Sam Walton's vision to global expansion,
Mhm.
technology, social issues, the environment.
It's quite a story.
But before we wrap things up, I want to go back to e-commerce.
Oh yeah, the Amazon battle.
Because that's a huge part of retail these days.
It is. That's a whole other deep dive right
Yeah,
there.
for sure. So let's take a quick break, gather our thoughts, and then we'll dive into the Walmart versus Amazon showdown.
All right, sounds good.
All right, so we're back, and I think it's time to talk about the elephant in the room.
Oh yeah.
Walmart versus
It's
Amazon.
a showdown.
I mean, this is like Ali versus Frazier or something.
It's a clash of the titans.
You've got Amazon starting as what, like a little online bookstore,
Yeah, just selling books online.
and then they just boom explode.
They built this whole e-commerce empire.
Fast shipping, Prime, the whole thing.
They were the kings for a long time.
But then Walmart comes along, and they don't just, like, dip their toe in the water.
No.
They jump right in.
They bought companies like Jet.com, Flipkart,
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
built their own platform, their own delivery network.
It's like you were saying, all right, Amazon, game on.
Yeah, they were ready to compete.
So how's it been going? Like, where are the main battle lines in this e-commerce war?
Well, price is always a big one.
Right, they both built their reputations on being cheap,
Exactly. It's a constant price war.
which is good for us, right?
Oh, yeah, for the consumers, definitely.
Yeah,
But it's tough on the companies.
yeah, I bet.
Another big one is speed. How fast can you get the package to the customer?
Amazon set the bar pretty high with that 2-day shipping thing.
They did. And Walmart's been trying to keep up, rolling out their own fast shipping programs.
It's a race.
It is. And then
Yeah.
you've got the loyalty thing.
Yeah, like Amazon Prime with all the perks and stuff.
Yeah, Walmart's trying to do something similar with Walmart Plus.
So they're both trying to, like, lock customers in.
Yeah, give them a reason to keep coming back.
But it's not just those two anymore. Right?
No, you've got Target, even some grocery chains are getting in on the action.
It's getting crowded out there.
It is. It's a wild world.
So what does it all mean for, for the average person who just wants to buy some stuff?
Well, it's good and bad, right?
Yeah.
Good because you have more choices, more competition.
Yeah.
Bad because it can be overwhelming.
Too many options.
But the thing is, it gives us more power.
How so?
We can compare prices easily.
Yeah.
Read reviews, choose the company that we think is best.
So we can actually, like, we can make them compete for our business.
Exactly. We're not just stuck with whatever's available.
And we can demand better service, faster shipping.
Yeah, and more sustainable practices.
So our choices actually matter.
They do. We can vote with our wallets.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
So as we kind of wrap up this whole Walmart deep dive,
Yeah.
I think the big takeaway is retail is, like, constantly changing.
It's never going to stand still.
What worked yesterday might not work tomorrow.
Exactly. You got to be ready to adapt.
Yeah, be informed, make smart choices.
And be aware of how those choices affect the world around us.
Well said. Well, this has been fascinating. Thanks for joining me on this wild ride through the world of Walmart and everything else.
It was fun. Thanks for having me.
And to everyone listening, keep exploring, keep asking questions, and most importantly, keep learning. Who knows what the future of retail holds, but it's definitely going to be interesting. Until next time.